Yeah, yeah, yeah. Baby, yeah. You know, say ready for this. You know, I have patience.
All right, so the next topic we're going to touch on is kind of a switch to a degree, right? And what that is basically, I had the honor of someone reaching out to me. She's in Canada.
Okay.
And she approached me with regards to human trafficking. Cheyenne Jones.
Okay.
Cheyenne, I hope I said your name correctly. I apologize if I mispronounced it. I've been pretty busy, but I always wanted to address this topic, especially with my colleague Cal here. So if you view this, just know that we're doing our best to try and approach it in a way that's going to inform and uplift the community. So I just wanted to, Miss Cheyenne Jones, and if I said it wrong, please don't hesitate to correct me. But we're going to switch the topic real quick as we close out on this final topic. Just to give people an insight on just how pervasive this is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, human trafficking is a huge global issue. Global issue. Like that's if you're talking about some definitely some depths of humanity, inhumane ways of treating people, man. And that goes back to slavery as well.
Yes, sir.
Back to the transatlantic slave trade, transatlantic slave trade as well. The Ma'afa, call it.
Cheyenne, we'll talk about this again. Please reach out to us if you would be interested in being a guest, because we would love to have you as a guest on here. So look out, just reach out to us, and we'll make a difference.
Yeah, definitely. Please reach out to us, family. Yeah, if you definitely have some valuable information to share. We just don't let anybody on our podcast, but those people who've had work in the community, who've definitely put in the time and the effort to do research on certain things, it's important. So, definitely just reach out to us as far as like email or here through the chat. Okay. Yeah. Again, when we talk about this discrimination, definitely with human trafficking, I mean, it's a global epidemic, or they call it pandemic because it's all over. And it definitely has its roots in the transatlantic slave trade. The Africans being put in bondage, kidnapped, raped, tortured, and or being brought to the Americas. Americas meaning North America and South America, because you have a large population of Africans in Brazil, more so than here in North America in the United States. So it has its roots, and it's still going on. Like young Black girls who've been missing throughout America in the past few years, and I'm sure it's been going on more than that for sure. But as far as my awareness that I've noticed in the past few years, these are young Black girls going missing. I mean, I grew up in the 80s where kidnapping was a huge thing. Like kids was getting snatched like crazy in the 80s, and it's still going on. So don't think like, oh, that was the 80s. It doesn't happen anymore. No, it still goes on. It's just now it's not on milk cartons anymore. Right. It used to be on the milk cartons. I don't think it still is. I don't drink milk anymore, but
no, not as much.
Yeah, it used to be on the milk cartons like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that was a great marketing tactic. Mm-hmm. That was a great marketing tactic. We need to be doing that with some of our foods and snacks. Like why don't?
It's been taken over by corporate, right?
Yeah.
So they can't make enough money, I'm assuming, with that image in particular. So it's been taken over by, brands, so to speak. They feel more people will buy.
Yeah.
So, all right. So here we go. We're going to touch on a couple of topics. We're going to pick them. But if you want it's a PDF form. It's quite a few pages. But for those of you who are in organizations that deal with human trafficking or sex trafficking, for parents who are concerned about their children, a movie that came out which was real interesting about organ harvesting that ties into human trafficking, such as the movie Get Out. These are some areas that can help. Perfect. It's kind of small, so I don't know if they'll be able to see it. So
yeah,
all right, sorry about that.
that's the best I can do. Yeah,
no problem. But you can put us back. You can put us back
Okay.
on. I'll just read it. And
all right,
you can refer. This is good for you to refer to, Cal, as well.
definitely.
This gives you viewers an insight on what this document looks like. I said, the PDF. We'll try and put the link down. We have a Facebook page as well, so we can put it on Grand Rising Collective Facebook page right up there, so they can go to the Facebook page and download the PDF if they prefer. For more information, we'll put the link down at the bottom of the Grand Rising Collective YouTube channel.
Yes.
You access the Facebook page and get this information. Again, rules and action steps, right? So
Right.
I'm going to cover the first segment, which is social media. You can cover financial and just touch on the topics as it comes to you as it relates personally.
Right.
We're not experts at this, but we want to give light or exposure to how pervasive this is as it relates to our culture and in the community. And Cal already elaborated to that as well. So just so you all know, if you didn't relate or didn't understand, human trafficking to a large extent is ingrained into all aspects of society, whether you realize it or not. For me, before I started doing research and study on this, I thought human trafficking was strictly for people, girls and boys who ran away from home. I didn't even associate it directly to foster care, but that was to the extent of it. It was girls who ran away from home, who got caught up into that or tried to move to Hollywood and be famous, something like that, and they got caught up into that human trafficking. I didn't realize how invasive it was and how intertwined it was in all aspects of society. So I'm going to touch on one. Kyle's going to touch on. We're going to touch on the various aspects that is involved in, and you can get all the information from the PDF. So human trafficking, and I also realized this, but I didn't think it was pervasive, but human trafficking is in social media, right? Social media. So for you parents, guardians, or what have you, and your child is on the internet and on these different social media sites, this is an aspect of where human trafficking, where they can get access to your child. I think I saw a video of that about last year before, where these girls were on social media. They thought it was innocent. And some kid they thought was a boy, was interacting with them in iMessage or these chat rooms or what have you. And they didn't think nothing of it. It turned out the boy wasn't a boy. He was a 30-year-old man or 40-year-old man. And they make arrangements to meet at some ice cream shop. Not funny, but that's because she didn't think it was dangerous. And thank God for the father. He followed her, tracked her down, and caught her. And it just so happened the guy that was doing it was a 30-year-old, 40-year-old man. And she didn't know and got punished.
See, that father's on point. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, regulating, now depending on how old his daughter was, regulating her. I'll be real with you, family. Like there was no privacy in my home. Like I couldn't even close the door in our bedroom. Like it would have to be cracked or something, man. There's no privacy. I don't know how other people was raised, but like we couldn't close doors in my house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, you go in the bathroom, whatever, like that type of thing. But there was no closed doors like bedroom doors, and there was no privacy. I'm sure my parents went through my closets, went through my drawers and dressers and all that stuff. And I think as parents and as guardians, people are like, oh, I don't want to invade my child's privacy. Your child has no privacy. That's your child. You don't live with your child. Your child lives with you. There is no privacy. There should be no privacy. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to your child's wherewithal and their health and their well-being. I just want to interject that because I think people get that. Like, why my mom go through my stuff? Your mom and your dad or your guardians going through your stuff because they want to know what you're getting into. Because you might get yourself into something you have no idea. One of my close friends of the family, their bedroom didn't even have a door. Their pops took their door off the hinges, man.
And to a large extent,
in the inner city, they grew up in the inner city. So he's like, look, my sons, it's stuff going on out there. So Nah, I'm not giving no privacy. Only go to heaven, no privacy.
You brought up a very good point. To a large extent, that's the extent that you have to take it now.
Yeah, man.
That is, and again, you got to get over the whole, like, to your point, Cal.
And you know your children. You're supposed to know your children too.
Right. And you have to get over the friendship thing. Like with my mom and I, and my dad too. You know, me and mom had a cordial relationship, right? We were cool with each other. I could joke with my mom. My mom would say, I laugh, I joke, but I don't play. That's what my mom would say. I laugh, I joke, but I don't play. So,
Yeah. Right? You know, same here, man. We can joke. Don't play with me.
Right.
Do not play with me. And see, black folks know, let's go real here. Black folks know what we're talking about. Don't play with me. You know what I'm saying? Other people know too, I'm sure, but that's a thing in a black household. Like, don't play with me. You may joke, but don't play.
So I could be cool. I could be cool with my mom and all that other, but I knew where that line was.
Oh yeah, you know that line.
I knew where that line was, and my mom didn't play. She ain't play like that. So it was never a situation where my mother was. I mean, we were. How would my mother say? She said. I think she said something along the lines. I was her best friend, or whatever the case may be. But that conversation, or my mother only revealed that when I became an adult.
Right.
Not when I was a child.
Right.
Mother never said I was her best friend and I'm a little kid still growing up. She had to instill certain disciplines in me to make sure that I could fend for myself and survive out here as a man, a particularly young man or young black man in this country. She had to make sure I was set there. So it wasn't until I had my job, bought my own place, got my own car, resembled and acted as a man, took care of my responsibilities, where my mother can now have that kind of relationship with me. But prior to that, I was not her friend. So when you your children, you talk about that's your friend, you got my advice is that you got to cut that. So if that means invading your child's privacy, like Kyle was talking about, then you have to do that, because the consequences of not doing that ties into many other things, but in particular the topic we're talking about now, which is human trafficking. And your child not knowing what's going on, getting swept up, and then you're crying or distraught because you lost your child. Had you taken those precautions early on, you could have avoided all that stress and trauma and all that right from the beginning before it started. And like Kyle said, it's how you raise them. So to this point, if you can see it's 15 social media, this article touches on how social media may be used in recruitment. So your child on social media is basically leaving themselves vulnerable to recruitment efforts of human traffickers, right? Online relationship recruitment is an example. Online fake or deceptive job recruitment is an example. Some of you probably not realize that. Job recruitment for your child when they're getting into internships, or, this is in college, of course, but, after high school, the case would be, are some of the things you want to be aware of. I'm going to go through some of them, Kyle, and then interject anywhere you feel you have something you want to add. Okay, Kyle?
Cool.
All right. So another opportunity for human traffickers is how social media, in line with social media, is how social media may be used in trafficking operations, such as advertising and sales via social media. Online behaviors of traveling, sales crews is another one. How social media may be used as a means of control. If you have been a victim of human trafficking, or you're a survivor of human trafficking, I stand corrected. If you're a survivor of human trafficking, this article, this document goes into how you can connect with other support systems and how you can get and stay safe, how you can avoid it for parents as well, who have been exposed to that as well. And then also healing, speaking out, and helping others. This particular section in social media, this document, can help you if you're a survivor or so happen to have been a victim of human trafficking. These are the resources that you can refer to. And then finally, social media recommendations and opportunities. So social media recommendations and opportunities can help. It's a negative, but it can also be used as a positive. You get access to these resources to help you if you were a victim, are a victim, or are a survivor from human trafficking. So that's my take on social media in an overall summary. Not getting into the depths yet. We could break that down in subsequent discussions, Kyle. or when we have Cheyenne come on, she could break that down in the areas as it relates to Canada and stuff like that. So, that's social media. You could touch on financial service industry from what we can see here for what this caption, if you want, however you want to go. But, it's on you now with social services industry. If you have anything you want to add to the social services industry related to human trafficking.
I mean, just like I'm looking, as I'm looking at the list, from what I can see, it's just like these are all the different aspects of how society plays into human trafficking. So don't get caught slipping. Like these are pieces of information, data in these different aspects of industries and society where you won't get caught out there and get caught without knowing. Based off your ignorance, you won't get put into slavery or put in situations where it could be likely that you could be kidnapped and accosted and put into these global systems of sex trafficking and slavery. It doesn't matter what age. You could be 9 or 19. It doesn't matter. You could be 23, 25. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. But these are ways that you don't think that human trafficking or plays a part in human trafficking, but it does, like financial services industry, the next one. Right, dealing with labor, dealing with certain, like you said, internships, going places, going certain workplaces, or being a part of certain work environments that may tie into human trafficking, depending on what industry it is and what area it's in, and just being mindful. All your security is priority. Your security is number one. So always being mindful. Like if it doesn't feel right, then it probably isn't right, and you need to get up out of there. Right? Or this person, I thought they were cool at first, but something don't feel right. Make a lie, make an excuse, get up out of there. Like call somebody, make sure you have someone to call immediately. Like say, hey, I'm in trouble, or I need your assistance. Like I don't feel safe right now, and I don't know how to maybe get out of this situation, or I need somebody to pick me up. Like it doesn't matter. Like these have no rules. So people are like, yeah, I don't want to lie, I don't want to seem rude. Nah, get up out of there. If you feel like being rude is gonna save your life, be rude. Be rude.
And I'm smiling not because this is a light issue. So I want to make sure this is clear for those who are watching. I'm smiling because I'm proud of the fact that I'm associated with this brother, and this brother articulates it and covers areas that I might have missed. So I'm overjoyed that we're able to contribute to this conversation in hopes that it saves lives and saves young people, both girls and boys, young men and young women, from having to experience this in their lives and go through this trauma. If you can avoid it, by all means, avoid it. So I'm very happy when I can share this information and I get feedback from my colleagues who are so on point in sharing this information, because I know to myself or believe that I'm contributing to making the world a better place and holding those accountable to who are doing this. Whether it's a psychological issue that they have, trauma they experience, and they don't know how to deal with it, and they're just spreading it, or the opposite or what have you. Bringing light to the situation just helps make society a better place. So that's why I'm smiling, and I wanted to give clarification on that in case it gets misconstrued. All right, so Al touched on the financial industry, did a great job. There's nothing more I can add to that. Look at, again, we'll have the PDF available. So if you want more information, just ask, we'll give it to you, no problem. We're going to put it at the bottom of this video on YouTube, and we're going to post it to Facebook. So it's as to not to get this information, or if the information we didn't cover in detail, you can't get mad at us. We're just bringing light to it and trying to let you know this is out here if you want it. So the other one on here is hotels and motels, and it goes further. There's more to this, family, in regards to this, and I'll touch on the topics as well, and that's pretty much a general. How can I say? Knowledge is general knowledge when it deals with trafficking. I'm sure we've seen in CNN and cable stations the whole underworld aspect of this, and there's always some way, shape, or form related to hotels, prostitution and all that other stuff. So obviously, hotels is a part of human trafficking as well. It talks about hotels used in escort services, how hotels and motels may be used in recruitment, how hotels and motels may be used in trafficking operations, such as escort services, other types of sex trafficking, travel sales and crews, hotel supply chains. So in case you didn't know about that, if you're traveling with your child to a hotel, just know you want to be aware where your child is at all times. Even if you're not with your parent, know that be careful where you're staying. how hotels and motels may be used by survivors and victims, victim interactions with hotel staff, survivors utilizing hotels as shelter, and victim identification in hotels. So you can, even though that element is there in hotels, hotels can also be a place of refuge, a place to be safe if you just let those who know in the hotel, listen, this is what's going on, this is what I'm concerned with, things of that nature. So just keep that in mind. Again, this document has that. Kyle, you want to touch on the transportation industry, if anything, or I'll cover it?
I mean, it just goes back to just basic self-awareness. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a hotel, motel, bus, train, plane, automobile. Like, just be wary of who you getting in the car with, especially with these the Uber and the Lyft. Like, make sure you know who you getting in the car with. Like, if you're out drinking with your friends and you getting in that Uber Lyft drunk or inebriated, that's a bad move, because you don't know who you get in the car with. I don't care if their face and number does come up on the Lyft. It could be bogus. They could be on there just for that one night and then take you off somewhere, and we don't hear from you ever again. Like, you have to be mindful of these things. Travel in packs. You know what I mean? Like if you're getting in an Uber or Lyft, or you're getting on a bus service, you better know and trust that bus service is going to take you where you need to go. Or if you get in a plane, or if you get on a train, like, you need to know what people are around you and who's doing what. If you got your headphones on, your ear pods on, you can't hear anything. You're not aware of your surroundings. So you always be mindful of where you're at. Look, listen, and observe. Look, listen, and observe always. And that will save you from a lot of these situations here. And if not, you need to be with people who have your best interests, who know what's going on around you to help navigate you. But yeah, like, it just, I don't know all the intricacies, but I definitely know what Uber and Lyft, watch yourself. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful who you get in that car with and where they taking, right? You know what I'm saying? If you got to knock them upside the head, do that too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real.
Keep it real. That's what we do.
If they take you somewhere and it look like it's not where you're supposed to be going, like, hey, it's not where I'm supposed to be going, and it looks like they on some other stuff, do what you need to do to get up out of that car. And I'm not going to say anything else. Do what you need to do. I don't know what that's going to be, but your safety in your life is priority.
So thank you, Cal, with that. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch on, and again, this is for the purpose of just letting you know how pervasive this is, and how you wouldn't give any thought. Like, I didn't give any thought to it. I didn't think it was that embedded in this, but it is. That's what this document is. I'm going to touch on healthcare, and healthcare says how health conditions, and disabilities may be used in recruitment. I didn't know that. I didn't know healthcare, health conditions, and disabilities could be used as a recruitment tool to human trafficking. I didn't know that. But now
I can see that.
Right? And now
I can see that.
I didn't see it. So those of you who probably, now you can see it. And it talks about health conditions and disabilities as vulnerabilities to trafficking.
Exactly.
Traffickers offering therapeutic or residential care. I didn't know about that.
I didn't know about that per se, but it just makes sense. See, I'm and again, I just find out really about human trafficking, like really gotten into it probably about the past 5 years, unfortunately. But it just makes sense. Anything that shows weakness, anything where they can get a one-up on you, is game. It's all fair game. It's all fair game. I don't care if you limping. I don't care if you got a disease. I don't care if you got an ailment. If they can find a way to pounce on you and get you out of there and get you into the whatever sex ring or whatever, they're gonna do it. And again, it could, to be real with your family, it could also probably be a church too. I'm just being real. Like that's how intrinsic and that's how deeply rooted it is. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm just saying that because I want to kind of break those chains off to say, well, no, I can't happen here. No, it can happen anywhere. Anywhere. And that's what I'm saying. When we talk about earlier, when we talk about racism and white superiority and sexism, you can't hide from it. It's everywhere. It's like Heidi said a minute ago, it's pervasive, meaning it is everywhere. It has proliferated in all industries. Now, does that mean every industry does it? No. Or every company in the industry does it? No, we're not saying that, but it's pervasive. So when you think you're safe, think again.
Yeah,
just to be safe.
Substance use, of course, is a recruitment recruitment at healthcare facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Kyle touched on that already. How
Mhm.
healthcare and substance may be used in trafficking operations, such as labor trafficking in the healthcare industry. Kyle touched on that already. Sex and labor trafficking in the illicit drug economy. Goes without saying. We kind of knew that. I kind of knew that. So for those who may not have known, be aware of it, right? How healthcare and substance may be used as a means of control. Come on, you got to be aware of that. Monitoring during healthcare visits. So someone coming in to monitor you on a quote unquote healthcare visit could be used as a recruitment tool to human trafficking or sex trafficking. Right? Limiting or denying healthcare, limiting or denying healthcare, using substances as a means of control, reproductive coercion,
Right.
financial patterns of unnetworked sex traffickers, financial patterns of multi-victim labor trafficking types, financial patterns of labor trafficking for domestic work, and corporations, secrecy laws, and trafficking corporate secrecy laws and trafficking operations. That means corporate is involved on this, and they have laws and secrecy that contribute to human trafficking. Crazy. How finances may be used as a means of control, how the financial service industry may be used by victims and survivors and surviving contact and customer facing staff. Look at the document with all this information, y'all. Look at the document, bro. So there you go with my input on that, Kyle. Whatever you may feel you can add to the hotels and motels, if anything in that list, you feel you weren't aware of that you might want to share, drop those gems, man.
Yeah, man. No, man. I've shared.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
The housing and homeless section. I'm sorry, not the.
I mean, same thing. I mean, again, to me, it goes back to the simple premise of any advantage or any disadvantage that you have at the time, they'll exploit. Period. Simple. Like whether you're in a house, homeless, in the hospital, walking the street alone, taking drugs, hanging out, partying, taking a cab, internship, working, it doesn't matter. Like if they want to try you, they will. And we have to be just aware of all the scenarios. I mean, this is why when you have a child and the parents like, yo, go with your sister, go with it. That's why. Because, or, you have a young lady, a woman who's out by herself, that's why they feel the way they feel, because it's like, yo, like somebody could try to snatch me up. Now, of course, they're going to defend themselves, but still, it could be two guys. It could be a woman trying to get them two guys to be kidnapped. So, it's just all these different scenarios. It's all these different scenarios, but it goes back to the premise of if they feel you're at a disadvantage, they're going to take advantage.
Got you.
Yeah. Doesn't matter scenario. Don't matter if you're in New York. Doesn't matter if you're in Chicago. Don't matter if you're in Atlanta, Georgia. Doesn't matter if you're in, was it Bismarck, South Dakota? Is that it? It doesn't matter. If they see you and they feel like you fit whatever description that they looking for, they might try you.
Very good. So thank you so much, Kyle, for the insight on that. We've concluded this portion of reference. You can take the share off. So that's our best hit on covering the topic of human trafficking for now. As I mentioned before, Cheyenne, I'll reach out to you again, meet up with Kyle, myself, to have you as a guest on here where you can give us more insight, more information, so we can share it with those of our supporters and subscribers to help them become aware. And I'll drop some, I think you have some statistics on this as well.
That'd be good.
To boys and girls, some of that. So, this is our best attempt at broaching the topic to enlighten others. But great job, Kyle. And just be aware, like Kyle said, be aware. Surround yourself with people you trust.
Yeah.
Don't be inebriated. You see how drugs relate to that could be the gateway or the door opening into wherever you are, being in a hotel, financial industry, corporate, housing, you know, healthcare, a health facility and stuff like that. So all these areas you got to be acutely aware of that that's a possibility, and you don't want to get caught up in that net or in that trap. So
Right.
those are, I guess that would sum up, like Kyle said, in that whole segment, we gave tangibles and action steps, solutions to those of you who, praise God, never got caught up or haven't been caught up in human trafficking and sex trafficking. We also gave some tangibles and solutions to those who are survivors of it and possibly those who may be in it now. These are some tangibles and solutions that we shared with you. And again, the documentation you'll find on our YouTube at the bottom link and our Facebook page for more depth, insight. And again, repeat myself, we'll try and bring Cheyenne, who is one of the leaders of this movement, to bring attention and bring an end to human trafficking. We'll try and have her on so she can elaborate in more detail. We're closing it out, Cal.
Before we close it, I want to make sure we get them likes up, man. Hopefully people like button down below. Definitely hit us with the likes if you're feeling what we're talking about. Definitely subscribe to the channel for sure. Because again, we really want to see the community prosper, and we want to make sure that what we're giving is tangible info out here to the people. And also, again, it's not just us up here talking, but really just to really vibe with you all, see what's on your mind, so that way we can bring more tangible info to the conversation, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that we haven't even shared yet that could be valid for like helping you to benefit your life, or maybe get through some struggles or obstacles that you're going through right now. But I just appreciate the time that people have allowed, to give us in order to talk to them and to be able to be candid as well, because it's important.
Yeah, my handles, if you want to find me on Twitter, Instagram is Balogun Logic. That's BALOGUN LOGIC. YouTube channels is Kayode Bentley. My other channel is Perspective TV. And my third channel is Candid Advisor. Kayode Bentley, I talk about scripture. Perspective TV, I have one-to-one interviews such as we're having now with Cal. But those influencers in my community, we talk about more personal things that's in line with them. I might just have you on, Cal, on my Perspective TV, brother. I had you on there already. You was actually on there already, but it dealt with addiction, and challenges that you have. I mean, a more personal thing. I might just do that, bring you on there. So it's Perspective TV, and that is Candid Advisor, where I serve as your advisor on issues such as career-related, relationships, things of that nature. So it's pretty in-depth, and that's good. And finally, last but definitely not least, the Grand Rising Collective, locking it down, where we kick it. What you see right now, how we be going in, dropping gems and dropping jewels.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for allowing me to speak my truth on this platform, and thank you for continuing to support and engage. And yeah, like Kyle said, subscribe, share. With the goals, we're trying to reach 1,000 by June. So, okay, Kyle, I'm sorry. That was trying to hold the fort down while you was getting back.
No, you definitely. I mean, we do that, man. Steel sharpen steel, iron sharpen iron. So, family, thank you again for allowing us to take up your time, for a Saturday, because time is precious. And we see that now with the recent events that have been going on for a while now. But thank you again for subscribing. Those subscribers, shout out to you all. Was it 43 now, 44?
40,
yeah, man. So shout out to the subscribers. We're going to definitely do something for y'all, because we're building up our platform, and we appreciate you all rocking with us and supporting us in any way possible. Definitely get those likes up. Definitely get those subscribes up down below. That helps to benefit us, just as far as keeping us motivated. It ain't all about the money. You know what I'm saying? Money is cool, but it ain't all about the money. It's really about us giving our energy and time and skill and putting it back into the communities that help to foster us and help to invest in us and help to build us up. And then we're sending that energy right back.
There you go.
Okay. So you can reach me at DIX_KYLE on Instagram. That's DIX_KYLE. You can also reach me on Twitter at KEasy773. And I'm also here on YouTube as well as Mr. Kyle Dixon. right? So just my name, Mr. Kyle Dixon, and it'll come up. And definitely, family, peace, power, and blessings to you.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Baby, yeah. You know, say, ready, on this. You know, I have patience.